Well, I just got home from work and now it's time to do the afternoon chores. There's a few things going on out here though that I wanted to show you guys, so I figured I'd grab the camera and bring it along. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. I think the first thing that I want to deal with today are these tomatoes out here in the garden. Now, we are not gardeners. I mean, if you take one look at our garden, that's pretty easy to tell. But we do try, and I would like to get some tomatoes off of these plants, but they just really are not looking good. And I'm not sure if it's a water issue or a fertilizer issue, but I have an idea of something that I can try to sort of help these plants out. I think that a big part of my problem with these plants is that these water pockets I have dug around them have kind of blown out and they haven't been repaired. So when I'm trying to get the water to soak in here, I think a lot of it is running off and sort of flowing away from the plant. The other issue that I think is going on is a fertility thing. So I want to try to help that. This ground where we're at here is very well suited for rice, but it's really not the best ground. If you go about 2 miles that way, you have excellent ground, but where we're at here, it's really more of a clay soil, and it's great for holding water and growing things like rice, but it might not be perfect for growing tomatoes and other sort of garden things like that. So what I'm going to do is go in the chicken coop and get a couple of shovels of chicken manure and sort of stack it around the roots of this. I don't want to get too much because I know that's really hot with nitrogen, but I think if I do that, that might sort of boost these plants, wake them up a little bit, and hopefully maybe in a couple weeks we'll start to see some improvement. Now that the fun part is done, I want to add some of this chicken manure to the base of these plants. I just scooped this out of the chicken coop underneath where they roost. I kind of dug down underneath the fresh stuff. Hopefully what I've got here is somewhat composted and will make suitable fertilizer. I really don't know how much is enough or how much is too much, so I think maybe I'll try a little bit different levels with each plant, see if and how they react to that. So at least I'll have a better idea for the future if this even works. This might have no effect on them at all. We're not going to put anything on this last plant because that will make it a true control. Yeah, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see. Let's throw some water on these and then we'll move on to the next thing. I think that's about all we can do out here for now. The rest is just a waiting game. So I don't know, I'll kind of keep you guys up to date on these if you want. I am kind of curious to see if this is going to make a difference or if I'm just too late to try to save these, but I guess we'll find out here in a few days or a few weeks or a little while. The next thing that I have to do every evening is take care of these pigs. We haven't seen them in a couple of weeks, but I think they're growing pretty good. As of now, I have not yet milled up any corn to mix their ration, but what I have been doing is soaking that corn. And what this accomplishes is it makes the corn easier for them to chew, and it makes it easier for them to digest, which is really, that's exactly what milling the corn up does as well. The big disadvantage to soaking feed is that it's kind of hard to feed them free choice because you can't really load that feeder up for 2 or 3 days with wet corn because it can start molding and stuff like that. So you kind of got to figure out exactly what they can eat for the day. If you check out my pig pen, you will undoubtedly notice that it is muddy and the pigs have mud on them as well. And this is no accident. I always want to make sure that they have access to mud, because pigs don't have any way to protect their skin from the sun. So what they will naturally do is roll around in that mud and get sort of a coating on their skin that acts as a sunscreen. I feel like most people know this about pigs, but I also kind of just wanted to say it anyway, because there could be somebody out there watching that doesn't know this, and I don't want them to think that these pigs are not being kept properly. This is all on purpose. 3 big scoops of corn and 3 little scoops of soybean meal makes this about a 20% protein ration. Now I just got to mix it up with the official Farmertylerranch stir stick here and feed these guys. All right, so now we got to run down to the ranch, move cows and start water. You guys have seen it a million times, but what's different about today is what's in this box. So, it's hard to climb a fence one-handed, you know? What I've got here is a DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. It's a little bit nicer than the last drone that I had, and probably the coolest thing about this drone is that it does have that ability to zoom, and we'll experiment with that a little bit. The other good thing is it has a way better camera, and I think you guys are going to be able to notice the difference, especially when I get down low to the ground and fly. The old drone only had a camera that was capable of 30 frames per second, and I noticed when I was flying fast near the ground, the footage was really jumpy. So this new one should not do that. And it was about this point when things started to go wrong. It's the next day now, and as some of you that follow the channel know, this video is being released a day later than it normally would. So rather than try to cover that up with some creative editing, I want to tell you guys exactly what happened. In the previous clip where you saw me launch the drone, that was in fact the very first time that I have ever lifted off with the new drone, and everything went really well in that initial flight. So the new drone has a place for a memory card, but it also has its own internal memory. I assumed that when you put an SD card in the drone that the footage that you shot would automatically save to the SD card. I would have been wrong on that though, because the default setting puts all of your footage on the internal memory, and I just could not figure out how to get that footage from the drone onto my phone where I edit all my videos. Enough behind the scenes stuff. Let's lift off the drone again. I will make sure that I have the settings right so that the footage saves to the SD card and I can actually share it with you guys. And we'll fly the drone around, check out the cows, check out the ranch, just kind of see what the country looks like this time of year. We won't see the cows going through the gate because that moment has come and gone, but I think we can still get some pretty good shots. Okay, now back to the original footage from last night. So now that we've got the cows moved into this new pasture, and go back through here and close these gates, and I need to go get this water started so I can do this all over again. Just when I thought I was done, I see a calf has not quite made it into the new field. I guess the gate confused him. So we better run down and get him out of there because I need to get these gates closed so I can start this water. We're up on the back side of him now. So assuming he doesn't do anything stupid, which he's giving me a look like he wants to do something stupid, we might be able to get him in here. Go on, darling. Go on. You know where the gate is. Go on, don't look at me. Just keep going. No, that's the wrong way. We gotta go up to the barn. All right, he might figure it out. And success. Well, she's in the corral now. Once I get this gate closed, there's really only one place that she can go, and that's gonna be back with the cows. So I guess there's no need for me to chase her out there. We'll just let her find that on her own. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch. Right turn. Oh boy, there we go.